I thought I had escaped the back rooms. After 3 weeks trapped inside level 0, I found a metal door marked Exit. When I opened it, I stepped into an airport terminal. There were people. There were lights. There was music. I cried from relief. Then every person in the terminal turned and looked directly at me, and not one of them blinked. The terminal was enormous. Rows of empty seats stretched forever beneath flickering fluorescent lights. A digital board displayed departures. Every flight listed the same destination. Home. No gate numbers, no times, just home. I approached a woman sitting near a coffee stand. "Excuse me, where am I?" She smiled. "Too wide. Waiting. Waiting for what?" "Your flight." The moment she answered, every other passenger repeated it. "Your flight. Your flight. Your flight." Their voices echoed through the terminal. I backed away, fast. Hours passed. No planes arrived. No announcements played. Every passenger remained perfectly still, watching, waiting, smiling. I discovered a security office hidden behind a maintenance corridor. Inside was a notebook. Hundreds of names filled the pages. Each name had an arrival date. None had a departure date. The most recent entry was yesterday. The oldest entry was from 1973. Under every name was a single sentence. Still waiting. That night, the terminal lights shut off. The darkness lasted exactly 30 seconds. When the lights returned, the passengers had moved. All of them. Every chair was empty. The entire crowd now stood outside the security office, staring through the glass, smiling, not moving, not speaking, just staring. I locked myself inside. At 3 a.m., an announcement finally played. A female voice echoed through the terminal. "Flight 1 to home is now boarding." The crowd immediately began walking. Not running. Walking. Toward gate E. I followed from a distance. Curiosity was stronger than fear. Big mistake. Gate E wasn't a gate. It was a massive hole in the floor, thousands of feet deep, black, bottomless. The crowd walked straight into it, one after another, still smiling, still silent, vanishing into darkness. The announcement repeated. "Flight 1 to home is now boarding." Then I heard my name. The voice spoke my full name. Again, and again, and again. Something behind me whispered, "You're late." I turned. A pilot stood inches from my face. His eyes were completely black. His smile split across his cheeks. He pointed toward the hall. "Everyone goes home, eventually." I ran. I ran until the terminal disappeared, until the lights vanished, until reality itself seemed to tear apart. Then I no-clipped into another level. Before leaving, I looked back one final time. The departure board had changed. Only one name remained, mine, and beside it, boarding complete. The houses on level 338 know your name before you arrive. And if one of them invites you inside, you never leave. I entered level 338 through a staircase hidden behind a hotel hallway. At first, it looked normal. A quiet American suburb. Perfect lawns, white fences, clean sidewalks, not a single person outside. The silence felt wrong. No birds, no wind, no distant traffic, nothing. As I walked down the street, I noticed every mailbox had my last name on it. Every single one. Different house numbers, same name, my name. The first house opened its front door. By itself, a warm yellow light spilled onto the sidewalk. A voice called from inside. "Welcome home." I kept walking. The door slammed shut behind me. More houses began opening, one after another. Every porch light switched on, every doorway glowing, every house calling my name. The voices sounded familiar. Friends, teachers, family, people I knew, people who should not have been there. Near sunset, I found an abandoned police station. Inside were photographs, thousands of them, all showing previous wanderers, standing in front of houses, smiling. Each photo had a date, then another photo, then another. Over time, the smiles grew wider. The eyes became darker. The faces looked less human. Eventually, the final photo showed the person standing inside a house window, watching, waiting, like part of the neighborhood itself. That night, somebody knocked on the station door. 3 knocks. Slow, deliberate. I ignored it. The knocking continued. For hours. Eventually, a familiar voice spoke. My mother's voice. "Please let me in." I nearly opened the door. Then I remembered something. My mother had died years ago. The voice changed. My father's. Then my brother's. Then mine. Perfectly mine. Open the door. At dawn, the knocking stopped. I looked outside. Every house on the street had moved closer. The neighborhood was shrinking, closing around me like a trap. I ran through backyards, jumped fences, sprinted for what felt like miles. Yet every road led back to the same street, the same houses, the same mailboxes, the same welcome signs. Then I noticed a new house, one that wasn't there before. Its mailbox displayed my full name. The front door slowly opened. Inside, I saw photographs on the wall, pictures of my childhood, my school, my bedroom, my family, everything. Something stood at the top of the stairs. It looked exactly like me. It smiled. "You're finally home." I turned and ran. The house screamed. Not the creature. The house itself. The entire neighborhood screamed. I escaped through a collapsing basement wall. But before entering another level, I looked back. The neighborhood was gone, except for one house. My house. Waiting. There is a television channel in the back rooms that only broadcasts one thing: your future death. I found level 777 after falling through a ceiling tile in level 4. The place was endless. Rows of old television sets stretched beyond sight. Thousands of screens. Thousands of channels. Every television showed static. Except one. Channel TTT. The screen displayed a live feed. A man walking through the back rooms. It took me several seconds to realize the man was me, wearing the same clothes, carrying the same flashlight. The footage was delayed by about 10 minutes. Everything I did appeared on screen shortly afterward. I waved. 10 minutes later, the version of me on TV waved back. I became obsessed. The television showed future events. Small things at first. Doors, hallways, rooms. Then, larger things. Dangerous things. Creatures waiting around corners. Ceilings about to collapse. The screen saved my life multiple times. Eventually, the broadcast advanced further. Hours ahead. Days ahead. Weeks ahead. I watched my future self exploring impossible levels no one had documented before. Backrooms lore has expanded into countless community-created levels beyond the original spaces. Then one day, the screen showed something different. My death. Future me stood inside a dark room. A figure approached from behind. Tall. Sin. Wrong. The creature placed a hand on my shoulder. The screen cut to black. End of broadcast. I stopped sleeping, stopped moving, stopped exploring. If I didn't reach that room, I couldn't die there. Right? 3 days later, the televisions changed. Every screen now showed the same room. The room from the broadcast. The room where I died. Thousands of screens. One image. Then I heard footsteps. Behind me, exactly like the broadcast. Slow, heavy, approaching. I ran through the television maze, but every screen updated, showing me running, showing the creature following, showing the distance shrinking, minute by minute, second by second. Eventually, I found a control room. Inside sat hundreds of videotapes, each labeled with names, thousands of names. Every tape ended the same way. Black screen, static, silence. One tape had my name. I inserted it into a player. The footage began. Everything matched reality perfectly. Every step, every decision, every choice. Then I reached the end. The creature stepped behind me, placed a hand on my shoulder, and spoke. You already watched this. The recording ended. At that exact moment, a hand touched my shoulder. I froze, slowly turned around, and saw myself. The version from the television, smiling. The last thing I heard before the screen went black was, Channel 777 never predicts the future. It remembers it.